Governor Newsom put out a disgusting video implying that he's, a pedophile or he's that. Like, why?
In fact, in LA, there's locations that will teach you how to open up your own hospice center. So I went there with a potential business partner to try and become a multi-millionaire in hospice.
We know that hospice is a very lucrative business, so I joined a business partner right here. His name's Darren, and we're here outside the Hospice Consultants, and we would like to start our own hospice today. Are you guys the hospice consultants?
Yes.
Oh, can we talk to you guys?
About?
Get some information?
Do you want a number?
Yeah, or give me a flyer or something. All right, so they say they're open right now. They won't let us into the lobby. This is no way to conduct business. We are two entrepreneurs trying to open up our own hospice.
Soaked to the bone right now.
We were denied service by the potential fraudsters, and as we were leaving, one of the fraudsters started to leave from the back in a $200,000 Maybach.
And we have a Mercedes-Benz driving out. Where can we open a hospice at? We'd like to open up a hospice. Get a Maybach just like you. So is this how I can get a Maybach by opening up my own hospice?
So guys, this legend, Nick Shirley, who released 2 videos exposing Somali fraud out in Minnesota, where they pretended to have daycares and fraudulently stole American taxpayer dollars, where Tampon Tim Walz decided he wasn't even going to run for re-election because of how pathetic he looked out there after being humiliated in a 2024 election and after being humiliated by this amateur journalist, Nick Shirley. He decided it was time to throw in the towel. But now Nick Shirley has released the final video of the trilogy. Okay, he is out in California exposing fraud yet again by, you guessed it, even more Somalians.
This is the sound of hospice money. Could you just answer the question, what's the need for a 1,000% increase in hospice care here inside of LA? Do you have the paperwork to enroll a little boy by the name of Joey?
You don't know what's going on.
Well, it says there's 14 children enrolled here on the state of California. That there is $6,000 per beneficiary. Can you give us any explanation? Where can we open a hospice at? Get a Maybach just like you.
California may have the largest amount of fraud in the country, as California is the state with the highest taxes and collects more money than any other state in America. It is filled with fraud. California's version of Medicaid, called Medi-Cal, has more than doubled since 2022 from $108 billion to a proposed $222 billion in 2026. Their population, however, has not grown exponentially. However, their spending has. There has been a 1,000% increase in hospice care in the Los Angeles County. In fact, 1 out of every $10 of home health care in America is spent in Los Angeles. On top of that, their government-funded daycare programs are filled with violations. While they continue to give money to these fraudsters, it is estimated that the fraud in California could be in the hundreds of billions of dollars. In this video, we'll be going face to face with these fraudsters, confronting them as they defraud the American taxpayer out of millions and billions of dollars.
But it's not as simple as that, because Gavin Newscum, the governor of California, is actually not as much of a wimp as Tampon Tim, and he is not going down without a fight. He is actually fighting back against Nick Shirley, and he is going on the attack, something that Tampon Tim seems to have had a little bit more integrity to not do, is to attack someone, as young and, to be honest with you, as helpless as Nick Shirley. But as you can see here, the Newsom press office released this video trying to make Shirley look like some sort of weirdo freak, maybe even a pedo or something, with the guys, hey, can I see your kids? I'll make it bigger here so you can see it. Hey, can I see your kids? And he has a million bajillion cameras on him, clearly an AI photo. Okay. So he kind of looks like Jim Carrey from Cable Guy. If you remember that weird movie, the Cable Guy movie, that movie sucked, by the way, but whatever. Anyway, so Nick Shirley actually responded here. He says, "You do realize I'm trying to help America eliminate fraud and waste, right? No need to try to make me look like the bad guy for exposing fraud. People are over it. Start working for the people, not against them." So I'm actually going to give that a like. And as a matter of fact, it appears as though this got a brutal ratio. The post itself got 26K likes, from the Newscum press office. And Shirley got 271K likes. 26,000 likes versus 271K likes. This is on the press office's account. They didn't even get likes on their own damn account. That is pathetic, guys, but it's not as simple as that. I wanted to actually react to a video of John Fetterman. This guy is secretly based. He pretended to be a progressive back in the day. It's hilarious that he pretended to be a progressive and then gets in the office and is a total and complete moderate. Okay, he's an old school liberal who actually is standing on business and going against his party instead of being some sort of Democrat shill in a puppet. So I'm going to go ahead and react to him discussing this issue and demonstrating a bit of disgust towards Newscum for attacking Shirley just for exposing fraud. Fraud isn't something that Democrats should be supporting, but you know, that's what they do these days, I suppose. By the way, guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where you can hype videos. So be sure to like the video, hype the video. It helps out a lot. Appreciate you.
Why can't you celebrate any journalist or any, activist doing that? And what, Governor Newsom put out a disgusting video implying that he's, a pedophile or he's that. Like, why? That's like kind of a smear, you want to disagree but to imply that someone in one of the most gross kinds of terms like that. It's like, hey, shouldn't we agree? Like, eliminate all the waste. If it exists under my purview, let's eliminate it. Let's call that what it is. I'm not going to call someone or imply that you're a pedophile or you're, going after kids in gross ways.
But what's crazy to me and so many other people that have seen these videos is to then see reactions from leaders in the Democratic Party saying, we don't have a problem, this is racist, this is whatever, and denouncing the reports of this. Exactly, but when you see this fraud, it angers everyone. You're spending money as a taxpayer, and then you're giving the money away to fraudsters. It should. You should be angry. And, fraud can happen on both sides, but when it's identified, I don't care if it's in a Democratic state, like we should all just acknowledge maybe there is a problem here. This is part of the thing. If you tell voters that you're wrong or, hey, it's no problem, there's nothing here, then you lose. And that you want to turn that into,
well, yeah, that's what they did in the 2024 presidential election, is try to say that everything was A-OK. We saw how that turned out.
Here, then you lose. And that you want to turn that into, if you want to turn that into like the border, what Democrats is in 2023, we do that at our own peril.
Fetterman gets it, ladies and gentlemen. You don't get any more right than this between the economy, between the border, crime, you name it. The Democrats, according to Democrats, everything was more perfect than it could ever have been in history under the Biden administration. The guy who literally went to take a nap because he was tired from debate preparation for Trump.
Just how worried were Biden aides before the former president's disastrous debate last summer? According to Ron Klain, his chief of staff, his concerns could not be overstated. At his first meeting with Biden for debate prep, quote, Klain was startled. He'd never seen Biden so exhausted and so out of it. Biden was unaware of what was happening in his own campaign. Halfway through the session, the president excused himself and went off to sit by the pool. Part about the pool, he went off, this is in the middle of debate prep, went off to the pool and he took a nap.
Still got his ass kicked in a debate, by the way. This guy had the absolute immaculate administration. Inflation, sminflation. What are you talking about? It's fine. It's down from 9%. What's wrong with you? It's down from 9.1% to 9%. You didn't notice that? You're bad at math. That's basically the type of gaslighting that these idiots tried to put onto the American people. And crazy enough, a lot of people believed it. We're talking about fraud here. This is something that everyone should say is not a good thing when it comes to fraud, drugs, crime, things that the Democrats these days seem to support. Everyone should be against these things. It shouldn't just be some kind of way we're going to twist this into some sort of racism phobic narrative. There's always some sort of marginalized group that they're trying to levy to say, well, Trump is somehow involved in this, or maybe this is a person who supports Trump, or maybe MAGA takes to a person like Nick Shirley. So therefore, we got to somehow make it bad to uncover fraud. Guys, it's the TDS. Fetterman is calling this out himself.
What do you think leads the Democratic Party today?
Oh, we don't have one. I think the TDS. I think that's the leader right now. Right now our party is governed by the TDS, and now it's made it virtually impossible without being punished as a Democrat to agree something's good, or I agree with the other side. And I would define that by epic fury. I am literally the only Democrat in America in Congress that I've come across that's saying, I think it's a great thing to break and destroy the Iranian regime. I think it's entirely appropriate to hold them accountable. And what's strange to me that every single Democrat that's run for president and anyone that I know in Congress says we must never allow them to acquire a nuclear bomb. When that happens, why not celebrate that or acknowledge that? I have only witnessed just criticism and this kinds of attack. Like, yeah, you don't have to agree on every single thing, but when a good thing happens, just because it comes from the different party, that tells me that you're choosing the demand of the base or the party over country or what's really, I think, appropriate in that circumstances.
The party is run by TDS. This isn't sane people anymore. The inmates have taken over the asylum a long time ago. Okay, you're not dealing with rational human beings anymore. When elections come up, remember that. You think that suddenly any risk that Iran poses is going to go away? You think that more wars aren't good? Let's not forget Ukraine war started under Joe Biden's administration. The October 7th attack started under Joe Biden's administration. You think that more wars aren't going to start under pathetic Democrat leadership? People like Kamala Harris, Newscum, a guy who's ignoring fraud and smearing the guy exposing it because somehow he thinks it makes him look bad, or MAGA takes too much to Nick Shirley, so now all of a sudden they don't like him exposing the fraud. It shouldn't be about who is doing something. It should be about what is being uncovered. But these are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm out. Shout out to my members, patrons, and fellow anomalies: Cyber Noodle, 655, The Great, Bella Scott, Carpentier John, and Pinecone 6. I appreciate you guys every single day.
Now let's go to another one that's even more concerning, as kids are left all alone.
Just arrived at the daycare. We have 2 kids out here. I don't know if they're members of the daycare. There's no oversight right here. Can we talk to your teacher? Is your teacher there? Can we talk to the adult?
He's not here.
Not here.
Yeah.
So you guys all by yourself?
Yeah. No to the door.
No one's here.
No one is not here.
Okay, so you guys are all by yourself?
Okay. I can see by myself.
Yeah, okay, that's concerning. No one's watching those children and they're all by themselves.